Hello, I'm Kyle. I'm the technical content developer at Maple Systems. Welcome to the Maple Systems video training series. In this video, I'm going to walk you through troubleshooting your PLC Diagnostics and PLC error codes. I will be demonstrating situations where you will have to reset your error codes in the PLC Diagnosis window. Some of the examples I'll be using will be if the power to your CPU and I/O modules get disconnected, and also if you exceed the temperature range on a thermocouple module, and how to clear those error codes in MapleLogic. There are many different error codes that you may encounter while online with your PLC, and all of these error codes for your CPU are found within the MapleLogic help files located under CPU error code table. To find this table, you would just type in error code and it will pop up here. These are all the error codes for the actual CPU. These are not for the I/O modules, and a very common one you may run into is 0x0302, which is when your CPU gets unplugged or loses 24 volts, loses the power that's connected to the actual CPU, and you will see the CPU blinking. And to get rid of this, just simply apply 24 volts back into the CPU or plug it back in, and that error code will be cleared. Now, to find specific error codes for your I/O modules, they're located in a different area in the help files. So go back to contents. From your contents, you want to drop down CPU PLC ES or PLC FB, the modular and the micro, and they will all be located in the buffer memory. So for example, if you want to look up your analog output error, you would want to go to PLC ESDA module and then go to shared memory, and here is your buffer memory for your 4-channel, 8-channel analog output modules. Go to error code. This is the buffer memory that's stored in, and let's say that it says no external DC power. It'll be here, and it'll be error code 2. And then to reset that, you'll just plug the module back in. So for all the I/O modules, the error codes for each I/O module will be located in its buffer memory in the help file for MapleLogic. Now let's go back into MapleLogic and let's look at some of the error codes that I have displayed in my PLC Diagnosis window. Now to open this window, you'll go to Online and then click Troubleshooting, and it'll open up the PLC Diagnosis window. Now as you can see here, I have all my I/O modules connected here, and so I'm using an PLC ES0808P, and here are my analog I/O modules. I have several here, 3 of them. The one in slot 2, so the SA0004V, and in slot 4, SA0800Y, and then in slot 6, I'm using a thermocouple module. The 3 of these have errors. Now, the first one in slot 2, which is the analog output voltage module, says no external power. Now, I would assume that that's because there's no power going into the I/O module. And it's the same error for the SA0800. There is no power going into the I/O module, and so it says unable to activate AD converter, and so it's unable to do that because there's no power going into it. And then finally, for the thermocouple, it's saying that the one channel that's activated, which is a J thermocouple, the sensor line is not detected, so it's not picking up any temperature, therefore it's going to give an error. You have to always have temperature going into the thermocouple module in order for it to not have an error. And so I'm going to have to reset all these errors once I plug these modules in, and then once I start sending certain degree of temperature into the thermocouple module. Now you can also view this in a different way. You can go to show all card, and then it will show all the slots that you're using, all the I/O modules you're using, and then you can see that it's showing that slot 2, slot 4, and slot 6 are showing errors. So there's another way you can look at the errors in your chassis. So now you can see a live camera feed of my chassis of all the I/O modules that are connected to the PLC, and you can actually see those errors. You can see the blinking red LED lights. You can see that it's slot 2, slot 4, slot 6. So I'm going to reset one error by plugging in SA004V, so that analog output voltage module. I'm just going to plug it back in, and then that LED light will stop blinking. and it just reset just now. It'll take a few seconds for the error to reset and disappear. And then analog input output module, same thing. I'm just going to plug it back in, and it takes a few seconds for the error to disappear. Now those are pretty simple. For anything that's unplugged, you can just plug it back in and that error will disappear. As you can see in the message window, it's still saying no response from PLC. It's saying that because there's still an error within our chassis, so that thermocouple module needs to be reset. So we're going to need to send some kind of signal into that thermocouple module in order for that error to go away. But it won't go away automatically. I'm going to need to manually reset that. So to do that, I'm going to go into the thermocouple module here, so double click, and to reset it, let's go to status, and I'm sending temperature reading to the thermocouple, but I'm going to reset that error, so click reset error, and it disappears. But in order to tell the PLC that we no longer have any errors, we're going to need to download again to the PLC and go to online, link plus download plus monitor, and there are no more errors on our chassis. And you can see in the camera feed that there are no more blinking red lights. Everything seems to be good, so now we can continue with our project. This is all I'll be covering today. To get more information, please visit the How to Troubleshoot Your PLC and Reset Error Codes in the PLC Diagnostics tutorial page on the Maple Systems website. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.